Welcome back, Nail Queens. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I do dip powder press on nails, plus a little nail art because I'm doing a Cruella DeVille set for my Halloween costume this year. So to start off, I have 3 dip powders that I'm using here today. They're all from the brand Soul Dips, and I'm using the Soul Dips Small Almond Gel Extension Tips in order to use them as press-ons. So I'm going to pick out all of my press-ons in the sizes that I usually wear, and I'm putting these on these pink stands from the Painted Desert. You can use other kind of stands if you want, but I find for doing dip powder press-on nails, using these stands right here and carpet tape to adhere them to the stands ensures that the press-on tip does not move around when you're dipping, filing, shaping, and buffing. So right now I'm just trying to figure out which colors I want on what nail. So Frida is my favorite red dip powder from Soul Dips. So I'm like separating them in bunches so I know which one goes on which nail. So I'm going to dip Frida first, and the dip liquids I'm going to be using here today are from Mani Boss Dip Powder. They're one of my favorite brands of dip liquids. I highly recommend them. If they have a Black Friday sale this year, I recommend you stock up on them. So I applied dip base to the entire press-on tip and dipped in the powder. I do have a cupcake liner underneath my dip powder just in case anything spills over. It always happens, so it's best to keep my nail area clean by using cupcake liners under my jars of dip powder. Also, just a little tip, make sure you let the dip powder completely dry for a couple minutes before you try dusting it off. Sometimes I make this mistake because I'm in a hurry, but just give it enough time before you dust it off. So one of the nails is going to be dipped fully in this lightly tinted French pink color because I'm going to be doing stamping nail art on top of this one. But 2 of the other nails are actually going to have a color block design because I want to do a Dalmatian print on the free edge. So I'm taking these like half heart stickers that I got off of Amazon and I'm putting them slanted on the free edge of these tips. I'm painting the upper half of the paint tip in the French pink, and then the bottom half is going to have the cookies and cream dip powder, which is going to give it like that Dalmatian-esque look. So that is why I decided to do it this way and do the color blocking design. I wanted the color block to be like, you know, those little half cloud French tip designs. Well, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but that's why I did it like this. I had like this idea in my head that the French tips are going to be Dalmatian style. I'm just doing 2 dips of this lightly tinted pink on the color block nails, and I'm going to do 2 dips of the cookies and cream at the free edge, so you'll see that in a second. But after you do your final dip, you quickly want to take off the color blocking tape. If you let it completely dry there, it's going to be very difficult to take it off. So I always take it off when I'm done with the dips on the top side. And then I'm going to use that curvature right there, and that's where I'm going to apply my dip base to do the Dalmatian style design. But I'm going to do this one as well, just like I did the last one, before I do the Dalmatian design. Alright, so to finish off the color blocking design, I'm using Cookies and Cream from Soul Dips. I really love this color. It does definitely remind me of Cookies and Cream, but it's like it can be so versatile. I remember last year I used it for like an abstract design to pretend that it was like polka dots. So I'm basically doing the same here, except for I'm pretending it's Dalmatian print to fit in with this whole theme. So you'd be surprised what you can do with these very unique and interesting dip powders that these companies sell. Something like this, I normally wouldn't have thought, oh hey, do Dalmatian style, but I'm glad I had it on hand, so it was super easy to do this, and I didn't have to use like gel polish or anything to do this kind of design. It's really awesome what you can do for nail art with just dip powder alone. And as you can see here, it is not very thick. I do not like my tips to be very, very thick because you already have the bulk from the tip on your nails, and then dip powder can add bulk pretty fast. So my recommendation to keep your dips thin for your press-ons is to use a thin dip liquid. So now I'm going to activate all of these nails. They're all dusted off already. I'm activating, that way I can file, shape, and buff. But let me go back to the topic of thin dip liquids. I think Mani Boss's dip liquids are very thin. I also think that Triple D's are very thin. So those are usually the two brands that I swap back and forth with. So I've definitely gotten questions asking how I make my tips not super bulky, and it's because I use thin dip liquids and I try not to do a lot of layers. I usually do 2, max 3 layers of dip powder on my press-on nails. So here are the Dalmatian French tips, and then the red ones with Frida. And I'm going to file, shape, and buff all of this. I want to give you guys like a little preview of my filing, shaping, and buffing routine. I've also gotten questions on how to file, shape, and buff dip powder nails on press-on stands. And my 2 tips are: use carpet tape to adhere the tips to the stands, and then use stands like this. So I like these stands from the Painted Desert. They're very solid, nothing is wiggling or wobbling, and the carpet tape is so cheap on Amazon. I'll link it down in the description box below if you guys are interested in it. It is incredible. My tips do not move around when I'm filing, shaping, and buffing using the carpet tape and these stands. So I highly recommend these 2 products if you're struggling to make press-on tips with dip powder. So I'm just gonna let y'all watch the end of this routine, and then we're gonna go straight into the nail art. Alright, so for the nail art, I'm going to use this plate from Mundo de Uñas. They are a Mexican-based brand, and they have incredible stamping plate designs. As you can see here, this theme plate is all villains, and I'm going to be using an image here on this plate of Cruella DeVille, and I'm just getting all my supplies out so I can have them readily available. And I don't know if you guys watched my Bride of Frankenstein stamping mani, but I struggled trying to find a nude stamping polish. I actually didn't own any. I literally just purchased this from Clear Jelly Stamper the other day when they had a sale. I think it was like 20% off. So there's so many nudes in this box. It is so worth it. I'm so glad I have so many options of different nude colors. I also have this stamping kit of polishes from Clear Jelly Stamper as well. I love it. It has a lot of primary colors and a little like secondary colors as well. It's a great kit to have. It is definitely worth the investment if you see yourself doing a lot of stamping nail art designs. So I'm taking the black stamping polish and I'm putting it over the Cruella DeVille design, and then I'm going to scrape that with my scraper card at a 45-degree angle. And then I'm going to take my clear stamper right here. This one's from Maniology, and I'm going to clean up the little excess that got on there, and I'm not going to stamp this. Nope. I am doing reverse stamping, so this is what it's going to look like when it's over the nail. It fits perfectly, but since I'm doing a reverse stamping nail art, I need to fill in the details with the polishes that I have. So I'm going to use this white to fill in the left side here because the stamper is flipped over. It's technically the right side when you flip it back over and you're going to stamp, but I'm going to fill it in with white to give the white details on her hair. I also have this nude polish right here, and I'm going to do that one to fill in her face. I'm going to pull out a green and a red later on to do her earrings and her lips as well. it looks very, very messy and all over the place, but trust me, when you flip it over again, it's going to look perfectly like well in place. It looks really gross and messy, and don't worry about that. If this is your first time, practice makes progress. Not perfection, because even I don't think I'm perfect. See? Look. Oh my god! It's coming together. I still have to fill in a few more details. I accidentally made her neck white. My bad. I thought that was her hair. Oh well, I'm just going to live with it. But I'm going to finish filling in the little details. And then I have to let this stamper completely air dry. Yes, you want it dry as hell. Like, you want it drier than like the Sahara Desert. It's got to be really, really dry. So what I actually do, since I'm doing press-ons, I walk away for a few hours and then I come back. If I was like very impatient and I was doing this on someone's nails or my own nails, like my real natural nails, I would probably wait like 30 minutes, but I'm impatient, so yeah. So I'm going to use this sticky base coat from Maniology. What it's basically going to do is it's going to give some tackiness to my dip powder. Dip powder is very dry and the stamps need something sticky to stick to. So I let this sticky base coat air dry until it was like nice and tacky, not super duper wet, and then I stamped the design right on it. And that's it. That's how simple it is. I do like to top coat with gel, just so you know. You can use nail polish top coat, you can use dip powder, but there's a specific technique to that so it doesn't smudge. Right now I'm taking a gel base coat from Nail Reserve and I'm applying that on this nail, and then I'm going to cure that for 60 seconds before I apply the gel top coat. I just wanted it to have like a couple extra layers. So this is the Soul Dips gel top coat that I'm applying on here, and I'm going to cure that for 60 seconds as well. And just like that, that is it. I put it on this little press-on little display stand that I have here. That's my Cruella DeVille nails. I would love to hear your feedback, and if you guys are struggling with dipping on press-on nails, let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to make specific videos for you to help you troubleshoot if you're experiencing any issues. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!